Apparently the roles in League of Legends are too complicated, so I'll explain them using something that isn't a pizza. It's 10:30 at night. You're playing League until you hear the doorbell. You go downstairs and open the door. Pizza you didn't order lies in front of you, so naturally you bring it in and you take a bite. But something's wrong. There's no toppings. It's just cheese. Which reminds me of the ADC. The ADC is the most straightforward role of the game. Your job the entire time is to click on things until they die, be it creeps for gold or champions for kills and gold, and then use that gold to get items to get strong. Playing an ADC is a lot like toppings on a pizza. Extremely simple and almost impossible to mess up. Because of how one-dimensional most of the kits for the ADCs are, this leads them to being especially reliant on their team for a variety of things. After all, who eats pepperoni or even green peppers alone? You do, which is why this next part of the pizza was made to help you. And also the second least important role. Playing support in League is largely considered an undesirable role. It's boring, it rarely does any damage, and when it does, it gets nerfed to the ground. And that's a good thing. It's just like having an overpowering sauce that takes away all the balance of the pizza. Just like the support role, pizza sauces come in three main varieties. Marinara sauce, which would be your enchanter supports because they're the champions, or the sauce that comes to everyone's mind when it comes to supporting in League. Alfredo sauce, which would be your engaged supports. And finally, pesto sauce, which would be the caster support because it's an abomination and needs to be removed from the game. Top laners are typically beefy tanks that soak up tons of damage, providing a soft, warm blanket for the rest of their team from death. This is just like the cheese on a pizza because it also protects the dough and the sauce, as long as it's a real pizza anyways and not whatever this is. Top laners, just like the cheese on a pizza, can come in two different varieties. The first of them being the carry variety. Champions like Darius or Renekton who are able to generate early leads in the game and use that advantage to win the game early. Think of it like a quickly aged mozzarella that only takes 2 or 4 weeks to age, and easily counters the second variety, which is the scaling top laner. Champions like Nasus or Sion or even Vladimir who focus on farming creep in the lane and have to wait until mid to late game for items, levels, or stacks in Nasus's case, to get real damage and start split pushing to distract the enemy team. This would be like the provolone cheese that takes months to age so it can distract you from the fact that the pizza you're eating is actually only 20% cheese, and your Nexus just blew up. It being the shortest lane in the game makes the mid lane great for farming and getting strong early. This is because the shorter the lane is, the faster the creeps come to the lane, which means the faster you get gold. The mid laner slowly forms into the crust of the team, or the pizza, and delivers victory to the rest of the team. Your typical rising crust would be the AP mid laners like Annie or Orianna, boring but an inoffensive choice. But if you're looking for something more fun and lower calories, the assassin mid laners, champions that are great in the early to mid game like Diana, Zed, or Talon would be great choices, as they're a lot like a thin crust pizza that cooks fast and needs to be eaten immediately, or they get weak and stale. Another aspect that allows the mid lane to carry a team is the fact that it's the closest lane to all the others, thus making it extremely easy to roam and gank, just like how the crust can cover the back of all parts of the pizza. You'll be safe knowing the mid laner could help at any time, because it definitely won't be the jungler coming to gank because he's still farming for some reason. Let's say they did decide to take a break from farming neutral camps and nearly dying to Krugs to actually help the team. Typically they would help in securing the dragon after a gank or denying the enemy jungler's camps. What happens to a pizza when the jungler decides to be useless for the first 15 minutes of the game, hiding in the jungle by playing a scaling champ? Well, then you'd get one of the greatest abominations ever created in history, the deep dish pizza. Think about it. Your average pizza dough takes 1 minute to get ready, or 3 minutes in League time, but your scaling or deep dish pizza is a scaling pizza, so it takes way more time in the oven or the jungle, about 15 to 20 minutes.